record. All right, we are being recorded and we are live on Facebook. Let's get started. Chandraji.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryashu Sarvada Sarvakaryashu Sarvada Karpuragauram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvindam Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matri Rupena Samstita Namastasai 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Jyoti Rupena Samstita Namastasai 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 Namo Namah Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukaneva Vandanam Mrityurmokshyamamritat Om Trayambakam 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 यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षेऽमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं 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 यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षेऽमामृतात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। रमना जी आप किसी को कह दीजिए भजन शुरू करने, क्योंकि 6:30 तक हमें भजन ही गाने हैं। 6:30 तक
6:30 तक, ठीक है।
हाँ जी। जो भी आए हुए हैं, उषा जी हैं, कुमार जी हैं, किसी को भी बोल दीजिए, मैं भी गाऊंगी आफ्टर देम।
ठीक है। थैंक यू चंद्रा जी। उषा जी आप तैयार हो खाने के लिए? आप म्यूटेड हैं। मैं
वैसे
आप म्यूटेड हैं।
वैसे तो मैं चुप रहती नहीं हूँ, पता नहीं ये कैसे म्यूट हो गया।
मैंने नहीं आपको चुप कराया, आप खुद
वही
ही
तो
हो गए हो।
रहती नहीं हूँ, पता नहीं ये कैसे हो गया। Anyway,
ऐसी मेरी मजाल नहीं है अभी।
ऐसे ही है। एक सेकंड।
कुमु जी आप तैयार रहिएगा उषा जी के पास।
हैं?
मैं कुमु जी को बोल रही हूँ कि वो तैयार रहें आपके पास। कुमु जी आप
और
तैयार
ये
रहिएगा उषा जी के पास।
जी
ओके।
और
अगर कुमार जी को गाने, उनको गाने दो, शायद वो दूसरे नहीं तो दूसरों की मीटिंग में चली जाएगी जल्दी से। ओ मैं नहीं चली जाऊंगी किधर, आज मैं यही बैठने वाली हूँ। वो अभी
को मुझे सारे अकेले छोड़ के चले गए।
वो भागेगी उधर दुर्गा मंदिर की तरफ। नो नो
आज दुर्गा मंदिर में
ट्यूसडे को सभी छोड़ के चले, धीमन भाई भी नहीं थे तो हमें आरती वारती की
आई ना।
चलिए हो गया। अभी जी ने किया और सतीश जी ने श्लोक गाए, भगवान जी को खुश कर ही दिया हम।
अच्छा चलो मैं
भगवान
ओके।
उषा जी आपकी शक्ल दिखाइए प्लीज।
अरे दिख तो रही मुझे अपनी।
आपके दर्शन चाहिए।
दर्शन क्या बात है, दर्शन दो घनश्याम। लो
चलिए अब आपके भजन क्यों भी सुनने के इंतजार है हमें भी।
अरे वाह। जगत में चिंता मिटी उसी की, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। वो ही हमेशा हरे भरे हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। ना पाया तुझको किसी ने छल से, ना पाया तुझको किसी ने बल से, उसी को दर्शन हुए तुम्हारे, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। वो ही हमेशा हरे भरे हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। ना पाया तुझको वजीर बन के, ना पाया तुझको फकीर बन के, ना पाया तुझको कि वजीर बन के, ना पाया तुझको फकीर बन के, वो ही परम पथ पे चल सके हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। वो ही हमेशा हरे भरे हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। किसी ने जग में करी भलाई, किसी ने जग में करी बुराई, किसी ने जग में करी भलाई, किसी ने जग में करी बुराई, वो ही परम पथ पे चल सके हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। उन्हीं का जीवन सफल हुए हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। प्रभु जी बिनती सुनो हमारी, संभालो बिगड़ी दशा हमारी। प्रभु जी बिनती सुनो हमारी, संभालो बिगड़ी दशा हमारी। हो हो बेसहारों के तुम सहारे, तुम्हारे चरणों में आ गए हैं। हो बेसहारों के तुम सहारे, तुम्हारे चरणों में आ गए हैं। वो ही हमेशा हरे भरे हैं, जो तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। मैं तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं, हम तेरे चरणों में आ गए हैं। जय श्री कृष्ण।
वेरी नाइस उषा जी। ओके कुमु जी, आपकी बारी।
Yeah, I have little allergy, but I will try.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. मुझे तूने मालिक बहुत कुछ दिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तूने मालिक बहुत कुछ दिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। न मिलती अगर दी हुई दात तेरी, तो क्या थी जमाने में औकात मेरी। ए बंदा तो तेरे सहारे जिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तूने मालिक बहुत कुछ दिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। ए जायदाद दी है, औलाद दी है, मुसीबत में हर वक्त मदद तूने की है। तेरे ही दिया मैंने खाया पिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मेरा ही नहीं तू सभी का है दाता, सभी को सब कुछ तू देता दिलाता। जो खाली था दामन तूने भर दिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। तेरी बंदगी से मैं बंदा हूँ मालिक, तेरे ही करम से मैं जिंदा हूँ मालिक। तुम्ही ने तो जीने के काबिल किया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मेरा भूल जाना, तेरा ना भुलाना, तेरी रहमतों का कहाँ है ठिकाना। तेरी इस मोहब्बत ने पागल किया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तूने मालिक बहुत कुछ दिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। जय श्री कृष्ण। थैंक यू।
मुझे रानी जी, आप हो वहां पर? रानी, ओके।
अच्छा, ठीक है। या नमस्ते।
नमस्ते। So you are next.
और भी कोई गाने एक मैं तैयार कर रही हूँ एक।
Okay. उषा जी आप तैयार हैं?
कौन सी उषा?
आईपैड वाली आप शर्मा जी नहीं, दूसरी वाली।
उषा, हाँ ये है उषा।
ठीक है, तो हम आपसे आप सुनाइए फिर। हाँ जी, अपना अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को।
हाँ कर दिया।
ठीक है।
1 मिनट, हाँ मैं गाना ही निकाल रही हूँ। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम राम, पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम। भव समुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम। परम गोप्य परम दिव्य मंत्र राम नाम, परम गोप्य परम दिव्य मंत्र राम नाम। संत हृदय सदा बसत एक राम नाम। परम शांति सुख निदान दिव्य राम नाम, परम शांति सुख निदान दिव्य राम नाम। निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम। मात पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम राम, मात पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम। भक्त जनर जीवन धन एक राम नाम। राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम। भव समुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। श्री राम।
श्री राम, थैंक यू। ओके, रानी जी
Okay.
आप, और उसके
Yeah.
बाद चंद्रा जी आप तैयार रहिएगा एक और भजन के लिए। ओके रानी जी।
अच्छा जी। अमृत और जहर दोनों हैं, सागर में एक साथ मंथन का अधिकार है सबको। फल प्रभु तेरे हाथ, तेरे फूलों से भी प्यार, तेरे कांटों से भी प्यार, जो भी देना चाहे दे दे करतार। दुनिया के तारनहार, दुनिया के तारनहार। फूलों से भी प्यार, तेरे कांटों से भी प्यार, जो भी देना चाहे दे दे कर तार, दुनिया के तारनहार, दुनिया के तारनहार। चाहे सुख दे या दुख, चाहे खुशी दे या गम, चाहे सुख दे या दुख, चाहे खुशी दे या गम, मालिक जैसे भी रखेगा वैसे रह लेंगे हम, मालिक रह लेंगे हम। चाहे हंसी भरा संसार दे या आंसुओं की धार, जो भी देना चाहे दे दे कर तार, दुनिया के तारनहार, दुनिया के तारनहार। तेरे फूलों से भी प्यार, तेरे कांटों से भी प्यार, जो भी देना चाहे दे दे कर तार, दुनिया के तारनहार, दुनिया के तारनहार। हमको दोनों है पसंद तेरी धूप और छाँव, हमको दोनों है पसंद तेरी धूप और छाँव। दाता किसी भी दिशा में ले चल, जिंदगी की नाव ले चल, जिंदगी की नाव। चाहे हमें लगा दे पार, डुबो दे चाहे हमें मझधार, जो भी देना चाहे दे दे कर तार, दुनिया के तारनहार, दुनिया के तारनहार। तेरे फूलों से भी प्यार, तेरे कांटों से भी प्यार, जो भी देना चाहे दे दे कर तार, दुनिया के तारनहार, दुनिया के तारनहार। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू रानी जी। चंद्रा जी आप
जी, फिर उसके बाद हो जाएंगे, फिर डॉक्टर कपाडिया आ जाते हैं।
हाँ, आ गए वो भी वैसे।
मैं जल्दी से 4
हाँ,
मिनट। मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, वस्तु अमोलक दी मेरे साथ गुरु, वस्तु अमोलक दी मेरे साथ गुरु, कृपा करियो बनायो। बाबूजी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, बाबूजी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। जन्म जन्म की पूंजी पायो, जन्म जन्म की पूंजी पायो, जग में सभी को लायो, पायो जी मैंने राम धन पायो पायो जी मैंने राम धन पायो खर्चे ना कोई मांगो चोर ना लूटे खर्चे ना कोई मांगो चोर ना लूटे दिन दिन बढ़त समायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो सत की नाम के बटिया सतगुरु सत की नाम के बटिया सतगुरु भव सागर नहायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर हरख हरख यश गायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो वस्तु अमोलक दीन सतगुरु कृपा करिया बनायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो बोल बांके बिहारी लाल की
Thanks, Chandra ji. Welcome, Jatin ji.
नमस्कार हरिओम जय जय
हरि ओम, नमस्कार.
आप म्यूट
हमने आपको को होस्ट बना दिया है. Stage is all yours.
We'll start.
Thank you.
I know you gotta go down. It changed all the way. Om Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om. Kshutvyadischa chikitsayam Pratidinam Bhikshaushadam bhujyatam Swadavannam natu yachatam Vidivashat Praptena santyushyatam Shitoshnadi vishayatam Natu vrutha Vakyam samucharyatam Audasinyamabhipsyatam Janakrupan Aishturyamutsrujyatam. So we did the first part, but we can do it again one more time. So the first two words are Kshutvyadischa chikitsyatam. So there are two things compared here, hunger and diseases. And both of them need to be treated. The next one, Pratidinam Bhikshaushadam Bhujyatam. In other words, Pratidinam, every day, Bhikshaushadam, what we get it in Bhiksha, the food, Bhujyatam, whatever we get, that's what we eat. So daily take the medicine of Bhiksha, the food. And one more, Svadavannam na tu yachyatam, that do not ask for delicious food, the food that you love to eat. Don't ask for it. So let us just summarize or put together all three of the statements. They all are related to food. And we started talking about food last time. That whenever we go to the doctor, we are sick, right? And he gives the medicine. So what happens? Do we take the medicine he gives, or we take less medicine, or we take double the medicine? We don't do either of the two. We take the medicine what doctor gives. The same thing about food also. Should we overeat? No. Should we eat less? No. We should eat adequate amount of food. Then last time we talked about sattvic food, rajasic food, and tamasic food. If we don't want to go too much in detail, fruits and vegetables, cereals and flour, rice, all of them are sattvic. A little spices is fine. A little oil or ghee is fine. Middle, rajasic, heavy foods, very spicy food, fried food, unfertilized eggs. All of these fall into category of rajasic food. Tamasic food, the meat, fertilized eggs, some of the vegetables like eggplant and mushrooms, very heavy double fried food, and yesterday's food. All of these are tamasic food. So what does all this food do? Tamasic food is excreted. Rajasic food builds the body. And sattvic food keeps the mind calm. So we should be eating more and more sattvic food. Now, we can pick one of the item and then keep arguing. What is it that in that book it says, this is not a rajasic food, this is a tamasic food. And in that book says, this is not a tamasic food, this is a rajasic food. Yes, because in Western world, there are many authors. And these authors have written many, many books. And for many reasons, they describe differently from each other. So there is going to be overlapping of some of the things. But the basic idea is this: eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, eat vegetarian food, and eat in moderation, and everything is moderately cooked. Now, there are few things which describe in scriptures. What are those things? That when we eat, 1/3 of the food should be filled in the stomach. So the stomach should not be filled totally with the food, which we often do when we go for the wedding or a restaurant or stuff like that. The another third of the food should be filled with liquid, especially, in the stomach. Another 1/3 of the stomach should be filled with liquid. And preferred liquid is water. Certainly not the alcohol. Alcohol is considered really, really bad. And not even the juices and milk, etc. When we are eating meals, that should be 1/3 water. And 1/3 of the stomach should be empty. Why? This food needs to get mixed up for make it easy for us to digest. So there was a sticker in somebody's house on the refrigerator that nobody ever got sick from under eating, but overeating has multiple problems. See, some of our friends, and when we go out and we find out later on that some people say, every single time when I go out, I have to take antacid. And another person will beat that person. No, I take antacid first before I go out to eat. So that is what we do. And unfortunately, the food is so cheap that it doesn't really cost much to eat too much. We went to where? That was Montreal. And there was an advertisement that we serve 100 items, buffet, okay, fixed price, whatever it is, $15, $10, $20, whatever it is, fixed item. And the advertisement said, we serve 100 items. So one of us picked up the phone and called them. Do you really serve 100 items? They said, no. We serve way more than 100 items. But we thought that, okay, 100 is enough. So we wrote 100 items, but we give you more than 100 items. So this is where the world is. The food is so cheap that for such a small amount of money, we can take so much food. And what do? We spoil our stomach. This is what we do. Anyway, there are a few small things that if we pray prior to eating food, the food becomes prasad. So we want to eat prasad. We want that food to be sattvic. Now, if we pray, then we automatically avoid tamasic food in our dish because we pray and it does not mix with tamasic food. Remember, even in Ramayana, which was, oh my God, how many thousands of years ago, that also describes that we should be eating only the sattvic food. Rama stayed in the jungle for 14 years. And guess what? He lived on fruits and roots and vegetables only. And he was healthy. Everybody was healthy. So, of course, my mother never touched meat or didn't touch the eggs. And she lived 81 years, a wonderful, healthy life. And nothing happened. So vegetarian food is a good food. And even though we talk about it, we don't want to get carried away because some people eat meat and we don't want to just fight with them. But we can talk in person, one-to-one, in further detail if somebody desires. So lots of learned people or swamis, what they do is that they mix all the fruit, all the different kind of food. And actually, even they go out in commander to get bed for the food, it's all mixed up. Somebody will give rice, somebody will give chocolate, somebody will give vegetables, somebody will give dal, somebody will give something else. Everything goes in one pot. And guess what? Some people take that pot, go to the river, put it in the water, take it out, and then empty the water and eat the food. So the food has no taste and it's all mixed up. Why? The food is not for the tongue, the food is for the body. So that's what some people do. And some people, one day, and this is another Swami was talking about his senior Swami. And then what did he say? That somebody brought Panchamrit. Panchamrit has 5 sweet items in the milk. And it's very tasty. Somehow Panchamrit is tastier than what we would make milk drink for ourselves. So it is very tasty. It has honey, it has sugar, it has butter, it has milk, it has dahi. So all of that is mixed up. And it was so good. And in the temple, they even put kesar. So it is really, really tasty. So he took the whole glass because he was in, visiting Swami. So they didn't give 1 teaspoon, they gave him a whole glass. He took 1 sip and gave back the whole glass. So everybody started asking, what happened? It's not good. It's spoiled. It's not right. Why are you giving the glass back? He said, that's because it is too tasty. So I don't want to eat or drink something which is too tasty. Why? Then I get hooked to it. And then I want it all the time. And then I ask for it. The food is not meant for the tongue. The food is meant for the body. So, I mean, we were trained that way, and I'm not bragging about it. But in ashram, there is one rule, unchanged. Don't complain. If you complain, you are in trouble. We told you, don't complain. And then we got a little senior. Then after 6 months, no salt in the food on every Thursday. No salt in the food. How do you eat the food? But that's the idea, that you need to get trained, because we cook the food in the house, but there are swamis and there are brahmacharis who eat the best food. Then what happens is that they get they don't know what they get. Some days are good days and some days are not so good days. And people cook differently. So we cannot complain that, oh, this is too spicy. Well, they eat spicy food. What do you want me to do? Or some people eat very heavy buttery food. So, oh, this is too much butter. I can't eat it. Well, that's what you got, because this is what you get when you beg. You don't ask for, give me good food or tasty food. There is no such thing as tasty food. Where is the taste? We all believe on the tongue. Not true. Where does the taste come from? Mind. Tongue is only a vehicle which takes the taste to the mind. And the mind decides whether this is tasty food or not tasty food. It is not the tongue, and we blame the tongue. So tongue has taste buds. And I agree the tongue has taste buds. But it is the mind that which decides. And that's why we argue all the time. Oh, I want to eat pizza today, or I want to eat Chinese today. Where does that come? From the tongue? No, it comes from the mind, that I feel like eating Chinese food today, or I feel like eating Italian food today, etc., etc. So, what else? Anything we are missing? So we just have to train our mind to accept all the foods, whatever the food is. It doesn't have to be tasty. Every food is tasty.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
and that is in our
Thank
mind.
you, ma'am. Thank you. Nice talking. Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye.
So every food is tasty. It's not that this food is not tasty and this is not tasty. So these are some of the important things that the last three slokas talked about. And it's all about the food and the test and the begging and the control. The bottom line is this, that be in moderation. And this moderation rule remains forever about everything, whether it is about people, whether it is about friends, whether it is about house, whether it is about food, whether it's about vacationing, whatever it is, be in moderation. The same thing is true with the food also. Be in moderation. All right, let's do one more, 28. Vidhi vashat praptena santushyatam. So vidhi vashat means what? Whatever is your fate, whatever is your luck, praptena, you gain. Whatever is in your luck, that's what you gain. Santushyatam, be happy, be content. So live contentedly upon whatever comes to your lot as ordained by God. So let's talk about it. What is this? This is the law of karma. We did another book before, and that it says Bhagwan is karma phala data. What does that mean? Both of them mean the same thing. One is law of karma, and second is Bhagwan is karma phala data. Be happy with what you got. Why is it that way? Let's say if we compare two people from the same house, from the same community, went to the same school, and decided, I want to start a business of a restaurant, I want to start the business of a restaurant, or I want to start the business of a computer hardware. And they start that business. Okay. One can be very successful. Another goes bankrupt. Whose fault it is? And we find the fault with the person who is a failure. I'll give you the example whose fault it is. These sannyasis are supposed to be sattvic people, and they are sattvic people. So in an ashram where we were living, when the ashram was starting, it was built somewhere around 1998 or 1999 or somewhere around that time. So the big swamis come from different places because it was a large place, and it was a big opening ceremony. So 3 top swamis, they put the plants in 3 different locations. And then they hired the gardener. That, okay, now you put these different plants and trees everywhere on the premises, so it is nice, full of trees, and people will like it. Guess what? The 3 trees which were planted by the swamis, none of the tree got the fruits. And the trees which were planted by gardener, all of them are full of mangoes. It's just incredible amount of mangoes. We used to throw away some 1,000 mangoes every week. So because there are 7 trees and each one is full of mangoes, and nobody sells mango. They either eat it or give it to somebody, because there's hardly anybody wants mango. Why? Because everybody's backyard has a mango tree. So why would they buy more mango from outside? Very few people actually buy mangoes from outside because they all have mangoes. So what do you do when the mangoes fall on the ground? Nothing. You keep collecting. Something is good, you eat. If not, throw it. So it is so much wasted in any case. So who decided this mango tree must have the fruit? And this mango tree did not get a fruit. Who decided? So the whole law of karma, the way it works is that the total karmas we did in this life and the past life is called sanchita karma. So sanchita karma has some papa and some punya. It's all mixed up. There is no such thing as all the karmas are papa, and there is no such thing as all the karmas are punya. It is all mixed. None of us do the all papa karma or all punya karma. We are all mixed up. Sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't realize. So now one of those karma fructify when we do some action, and then we get the fruit of that action. So if the papa karma fructifies, you got a failure. If the punya karma fructifies, then you got a success. Now, who decides that? We empirically say that Bhagavan decides that. It's very easy to convince the people that Bhagavan decides that papa karma and punya karma, which karma now needs to be fructified. But actually, it is our karmas that fructify, and we can give benefit, or we can praise Bhagavan, or we can criticize Bhagavan. But it is our karmas which have been collected in the past, which now becomes current. And whatever we do today, whether it is papa or punya, those will fructify sometime in the future. So this keeps happening all the time. So our prarabdha is because of our sanchita, and our agami, the future karma results, depend upon what we do today. So today we keep doing papa, we are going to have negative result in the future. But today we keep doing punya, then our pot is full of more punya, more punya, more punya. And then the result in the future is going to be good and good and good and good. So that is the law of karma. This is such an established law that all branches of Hinduism believe in the law of karma. Whether it's a Buddhism, they believe in law of karma. Jainism, they believe in law of karma. Hindus, they believe in the law of karma. All of us believe in law of karma. And the reason why we believe is because it makes a lot of sense. It explains everything that happens to us. So what does this say? That live contentedly with the contentment upon whatever comes. So the older people in India, they used to say, this is what Bhagavan wanted. So it's so simple, so simple. In other words, whether I got pneumonia or I got the bonus, whether something bad happens to me or something good happens to me, this is what the Lord wanted. Because remember, Lord is karma phaladata. So, but it is our actions which are fructifying. Lord is not punishing us. But if we have done a lot of papa, then something bad is going to happen. And if we have done a lot of punya, something good is going to happen. So it is our karma. We are responsible for what we get now. And we will be responsible for what we will get in the future by doing the right or wrong action today. So it is all law of karma. Some people believe so strongly in law of karma that a simple thing, you fell down there and sprained your ankle, that is the result of the pap you did in the past. And some people say, no, 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 you had multi-million dollars and you went bankrupt. That is the result of the pap which you did it in the past. Somebody I know got cancer, and the first thing she thought was, you know what? My papa karma already fructified. I'm happy. Now what is left is punya karma. So next time I will have good result of whatever that happens to me in the future. So see how much peace of mind it gives. That contentment has to come, whether something good happens to us or bad happens to us. Remember, our first book was Bhajagovindam. And in that book, Shankaracharya knows the weaknesses of the human being. So after the opening first stanza, the second one, he hit very hard our greed. What did he say? Mood jahi hi danagam trishna kurusat buddhim manasavit trishna yallab se nija karmo pattam. In other words, whatever you can do the hard work, you are going to make something, and whatever you make, be happy with that. We don't have to be greedy. We don't have to commit papa. We don't have to do something illegal just because we can make few extra dollars. People with a small income live very happily. And people with a tremendous income, they not necessarily have a happy life. So that happiness we make our life happy. It's not somebody else makes our life happy. And basically the wealth, money can only buy objects, will never buy us the peace of mind, will never buy us the happiness. And that is a fact, there is no doubt about it. So stealing, cheating, manipulating, hurting other people, none of that will help. But be content with what we have. So let's talk about the next one. Sitoshnani. Yeah. No, Sitoshnani. Yeah. Okay. Shitoshnadi Vishayatam. It means Shita and Ushna, cold and hot. Two different temperatures, two different weather. Vishayatam, that means endure. That means all pairs of Adi. Adi includes all pairs of opposite. So it doesn't even say what those are, but it means all pairs of opposite. And we should consider those pairs of opposite equal. Okay, so what are those? If there are some about physical body, there are some about mind, there are some about intellect. The examples are pain, somebody falls down and suffering, or the happiness. It is about the physical body. The pain is because of physical body. Heat and cold is again about the physical body. Win and defeat, gain and loss. That is the mind. The mind says that I won. The mind says that I lost. Oh my God, I'm depressed. I lost. Well, it's a game. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. So what a big deal. So win and defeat, gain and loss. And the third, which hurts us the most, is honor and dishonor. If somebody insults us, we remember for 20 years. We don't forget that. Why did you tell me that? I'm not a thief. Why did you tell me that? I'm not a cheater. Why did you tell me that? I am less than you. I'm not less than anybody. So, and so on. And there are many different ways other people can insult or other people can honor you. Some people have a habit that every time they meet, they praise you. And it's a wonderful habit that you make other people happy. Actually, we should make some kind of determination that every single day I will make somebody happy. Every single day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. You just make tea for somebody, or you just praise somebody's hair or purse or pocketbook or food or whatever they cook. It's very easy to praise. What's wrong with it? But that person remembers it forever. That look, he's so nice to me. Or look, she's so nice to me. So it's good to praise other people. But the point here is very simple. All the scriptures and Bhagavad Gita at many places, not even one place, says that the person who thinks that the opposite has equal value, that means if he wins, he doesn't jump around and get excited and go to the bar and get drunk. And if he loses, he doesn't get depressed. So the fluctuation in the mind is little fluctuation, not a big fluctuation. The one who gets happy very quickly, that person gets unhappy very quickly too. And the person who has a habit of getting excited when something good happens, that person really gets depressed when something doesn't go his or her way. So just be neutral most of the time. So it is all at the level of body. Now, why do we have to think that way? Go back to the basic question, the first question, who am I? Who am I? The whole Advaita Vedanta is based on the answer of this one question. Who am I? And with Dhritarashtra Viveka, we went through really in detail that I am the seer. I am not sin. I am the seer. In other words, who am I? I see that dog. I see that tree. I see other people. So I is different from other people. And you keep going, and the final thing is, I know my mind. I know I'm upset. I know I am happy. I know I'm angry. I know I'm agitated. So who is that I? Who knows that I am angry or I'm happy? That happy is the mind. The angry is the mind. And whoever knows the mind is who I am. And that I am is Sakshi or Atma or Self or Brahman or Krishna in me. That is who I am. And here they call in Christianity, it is my spirit. That is who I am. That spirit is the same as consciousness. There is no difference. But here in Western world, they call it spirit. And in Eastern world, we call it consciousness. So who am I? Consciousness. Now, if I am consciousness, why should I worry about a little swollen ankle? Or why should I worry about losing $20? Or why should I worry about getting 5% raise? Or why should I worry about winning a tennis match? That either way, win or lose, doesn't make a permanent difference in my life. So that's why it says, endure all pairs of opposite. That endurance is very important, that we have to learn that. Titiksha is a must. Once again, going back to the life of a sannyasi or brahmachari versus the life of a householder, this topic comes up all the time. They are so trained with titiksha. And also tapas. What is tapas? Let's say if you sit down for meditation, a little mosquito bite or a little hot temperature or a little freezing temperature or no wind, none of that should matter to you when you sit down for meditation. It does not matter to anybody. And people, rishis used to meditate for days and months and years. They still get up to go to the bathroom and they still get up to eat the food. But while they get up to eat the food, they still think of a Brahman. They still think of Atman. So what is that? That is titiksha. That is tapas. That is the opposites are tolerated. That endurance is developed in that body. And we are better off developing that. Otherwise, what happens? There's a constant fight in the car when more than one person is traveling. Somebody wants more heat, somebody wants less heat. Somebody wants more AC, somebody wants less AC. Somebody wants a loud music, somebody wants a low music. There is an argument every single day, all the time, if we have no endurance. So the opposites must be tolerated. That is the way we have to train ourselves. Remember the last book we did, it was Yoga Vashishta. And there were 7 levels of spiritual maturity. And the 7, some of us did it. Anjuji knows that. So some of us did it. So that 7 levels of spiritual maturity, the 7th is samadhi. And the first one is just the awareness that I don't know Atman, or I'm ignorant about spirituality. But each one of the 7 has one constant item, vairagya. Vairagya is necessary at any level of spiritual understanding. And what is that vairagya? There is a second word for vairagya. It is called viraga. And what is viraga is absence of raga. What is absence of raga? Raga is liking or attachment. And the lack of liking and the lack of attachment is vairagya. And that is what they are talking about. So that means that we shouldn't be attached to all these little changes in life, because those little changes in life, it happens, and we have to have the endurance. We have to have the titiksha. We have to tolerate all those absence of the idea of winning and losing. And in Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita said many, many times that the one who has the absence of duality or the pairs of opposite, he is ready for realization. That's it. It's very simple. Well, it's not that simple because we are not trained to do that. We have liking and disliking is so strong in us that even if it's a matter of all color, oh, I don't like this color. Even if it's a matter of a shirt, oh, I don't like this shirt. It's a matter of shoes. Oh, I don't like this shoes, but it fits you well. I don't care. I don't like the color. So we are picky about every single thing. Every single thing in life is liking, not liking. And the people with money, they decorate their house every 2-3 years. Why? They got money. So they don't have to tolerate anything. Why? It's a power of wealth. The same thing in India too. It's not just in America, it's everywhere. Liking and disliking is very, very strong among every single person. This is the way we are. But then we have to train our mind that liking and disliking is not that important. We can live with both. And there is one thing which is very popular. It used to be popular in India too. And this is the maturity of the older generation. And they used to remember this and tell us, the kids, when we were kids, all the time. This will pass too. Very simple. This will pass too. That means don't be too happy. This will pass too. Don't be too unhappy. This will pass too. Some pain is there. This will pass too. Some suffering is there. This will pass too. And some happy event is there. Birthday is only one day in 365 days. Tomorrow morning, there is no more birthday. So you can jump around today if you want, but tomorrow it is no more your birthday. And for 364 days, the next birthday doesn't come. So don't be so happy. It doesn't make any difference. This will pass too. If we can somehow remember this tiny sentence, it will change our life. And the second thing which we learned today, which is worth remembering, is Whatever happens in our life is Bhagavan's Ichha. That is Ishwar Ichha. That is Bhagavan's wish. And that makes our life very good. Okay, yeah. And whatever happens is Prasadavati. Yes, correct. That he gave it. Bhagavan gave it, Prasadavati. All right, we'll do one more before we go for question answer. 30. Let's go try. Okay. Natu vrutha vakyam samuchayatam. What do we all day? What do we do? Talk. That's what we do. So, what does that say? Avoid wasteful talks, discussion, gathering. It doesn't make sense. In Sanskrit, it describes very clearly in the scriptures, Kanchan, Kamini, and Kirti. These are the only three things people talk about when they get together. Kanchan is wealth. I got this, you got this. I bought this necklace, I bought this suit, I bought this watch, I bought this shoes. Wealth, Kanchan. Kamini is, I like that girl, I like that woman, I like that man, I like this actor, I like this actress. It's all Kamini. Kamini does not actually represent a woman. Kamini represents lust. And people talk about that at any age, doesn't matter. You know, age has nothing to do with it. We hope that people mature, but it doesn't always happen. What are the third thing they talk about? Kirti. I am popular. I am the president. I am the secretary of this organization. I got elected for this, and I got elected for that. And in our community, I am the best, whatever, you know. But these, there are a few other topics. Men fight about sports, and they fight about politics. So in addition to these three, so there are, all these talks are worth how much? Nothing. Nothing. You don't make anybody prime minister, and you don't take away anybody's prime ministership. We are all only worth one vote, but we talk as if we make the president president. That's because of me. Yeah, right. But that's the way we think. So what do we do all Friday night, Saturday night, whenever we get together, and whenever we talk about, whenever we go out for dinner with few friends? All talk, and all talk is useless, and it really doesn't make any difference in our life. So what do we do? What do we do? I want to go out for the dinner with my friend, or if somebody invites me, I go to his house. So what should we be doing? Well, we can change the topic. Next time, try, and you will be surprised that you can change the minds of the people. You can change the topic of discussion when the group of people get together. Talk about moderation. Talk about the self-control. Talk about the divine life. Talk about divinity of him, Bhagwan, the Lord. Talk about the temple. Find the ways of how helping the other people is good for us. Talk about charity. Talk about controlling the ego and the anger. And you will be surprised. People will say, oh yeah, I know. You know what? I got angry for nothing. And I had a fight for no reason. I regret it now. So he knows that he started a fight for nothing or argument for nothing. People know that already. Controlling the ego. The world of plurality. How can you help? How can you help? There are hungry people in the world. There are starving people. There are people without clothes, people without education, people without medicine, people without health care, people without a house. What can we do to make the life of the others a better life? You guys are building the temple right now. Talk about the temple. Perfectly good. So change the topic of discussion. And that will go a long way. That's all. See, there is one tiny little topic comes up in spiritual books, that in Satya Yoga, Satya Yuga, okay, Satya Yuga, punya means you got to think, you got to give, you got to act, then you get the punya. Papa means you only think of bad thing and you got papa. We are lucky that we are in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, the reverse. You just think of the right things and you get punya. And to get the papa, you have to actually act and hurt somebody, or actually commit papa. So it is both thinking and action required to get the papa. And for punya, just think about it and you get the punya. Why is it just think about it and you get the punya? Because if you think one time, second time, third time, you automatically will act. When you start thinking, I want to help my temple, I want to help my temple, I want to help my temple, then when people get together, you will write a check. Okay, you know what? I want to help the temple. So the action comes automatically when the mind decides, I want to act. So that's why Kali Yuga, to earn punya and not to earn papa, both of them in our favor. That you easily get punya and you don't easily get papa. So we are better off being born in Kali Yuga, because both the things are in our favor. And that's what the scripture says. And so, and don't think of papa in both in Kali Yuga and in Satya Yuga. The reason is, once you think of papa, you will do papa. Just wait. Because you think again, and you think again, and you think again, and you act. And then we suffer. So avoid wasteful talk. Very, very simple. See, all of this whole book is so simple, so simple. We all know that. Nobody has to teach us. It is a common sense. But we just don't follow because we don't pay attention to. And when all those topics come up and teach us these are the right things to do and these are the wrong things to do, we automatically change our behavior slowly, 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 slowly. We get better over a period of time. And that's what it is all about. That, remember, the first sentence of the first talk is that I want to die pure. Very simple. I want to die pure. I have a lot of time. And whatever time I have, I want to utilize in such a way that every day I get a little bit more pure, little bit more pure, little bit more pure, little bit more pure. By the time it is my time to go, I want to be pure. Then you are on the right path. And if we just forget the whole understanding of scriptures, we get drowned. So, if any question, please go ahead. We got 9 minutes left.
Anyone has questions can unmute and say the question, please. I guess you explained so well that question किसी के rise ही नहीं हुए.
The thing is it easy to change? The answer is yes. It's just a matter of company. It is a matter of satsang, and this is satsang. It is a matter of our simple thought. I want to be better. I want to improve myself. And that's a simple thought. This is not too complicated. We all can think. We actually do think. We do think. It's just that we don't take the steps in the right direction. But we all do believe, I want to be a better person. When I was not into spirituality, I used to ask the question to the visiting learned people, what should I do? Please give me some advice. And that person gives some advice. And then we try to follow. So we all want to be in a better place. We all want to be better than what we are today. And there is no limit how much better can we get. It is endless.
Jatin, I have one question.
Please go ahead.
You had mentioned that praying before the meal, becomes prasad. So you would advise any kind of meal that, some people eat different things, that they should pray.
Okay. Now, the timing. It's though regular thing to pray all breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But in most institutions, you must pray at lunch and dinner time. That's the time you remember Bhagavan. And different people sing or talk different things. Even the Christians do that. Even the Jews do that. You know that. You watch that in the different shows. Now, the reason why Chinmaya Mission follows, what was that, 4th chapter, 17th sloka?
That Gita you told in the other, when you were teaching Om Brahma.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you that, and I'll explain a little bit of it, what it means, and why do we pray. And it is about Bhagavan. It is about the Supreme Brahman. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivate, Nagantavyam, Brahma Karma, Samadhina. What it means is this. Everything is Supreme Lord. Everything has a divinity. What does that mean? When we do the Havan, our hand is divine. Our ladle is divine. The ghee is Brahman. Fire is Brahman. The people who are watching, they're Brahman. And anybody who thinks that all my actions has Brahman in it, it is good action or bad action, doesn't make any difference. That person who keeps in mind that this is a divine action is successful in life. So what are we praying? We are praying and we are understanding, and we are we are taking the thought in ourselves that no matter what I see, no matter what I do, is nothing but Brahman. And if we do that several times a day, we believe it, we follow it, and as I said a few minutes ago, we make ourselves purer than what we are today. So that's why we remember, we do that prayer every single time. I have heard other people doing other prayer also, perfectly fine, because each prayer has a very good meaning anyway. But this is very well accepted.
I put that on my fridge, that Shulok, Om Brahmarpana, Om Havi, on my fridge, on my refrigerator, so that I remember.
Yes. The other one is Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Pranina Tehama.
And that's from 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
But my question is that people sometimes they eat meat and they eat other tamasic food, and still the prayer should be there still.
Yes.
Yes, everybody should pray. It doesn't matter what they eat.
What kind of food? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are many reasons why people eat meat. So even though if you ask me, I don't eat, and I prefer that other people don't eat, but I don't hate anybody who eats meat, because there are many reasons, more than one reason why people eat meat.
Very common.
It's okay, though I'm not recommending it. So nobody is our enemy just because that he or she eats the meat. It is up to them. That's okay.
Yeah. So,
But meat is a tamasic food. That's what you have to accept it.
yeah.
That is very clearly in the scriptures. It is not only clearly in the scriptures, it is clearly written even in the Western culture. That sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic food, that meat falls in the tamasic food. That is accepted by the Western authors too. Everybody accepts that. But if you still want to eat, okay, so that's your choice.
Thank you.
Dr. Kapadia, you mentioned that we have in the Kala Yuga, Satya Yuga, and so the Kala Yuga, that is why they say that even you do Nama Samaran and
Yes.
you get the punya.
Yes,
That is correct, right?
I agree.
That's what they always say, that do Nama Simran, थोड़ा नाम सिमरन करने से आपको पुण्य मिल जाता है.
Absolutely. So what did Tulsidas say? Tulsidas wrote, and this is without any question, Bhagwan Ram, your name is bigger than you.
You.
Bhagwan's name is bigger than Bhagwan himself. So it has that much significance.
Yeah.
So you don't have to follow the whole Ramayana.
Yeah.
You just have to say the name of Ram. And that is sufficient. Because when was Tulsidas born? In Kali Yuga. So he knows Kali Yuga.
Yes.
He lived in Kali Yuga. So that's why he wrote, Bhagwan, your name is better than you yourself. So that's where the japa is important. How important japa is. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Jai.
That's enough.
And also say Ram se bada Ram ka naam.
Naam, yes.
Tulsidas say. Tulsidas said in his language, Ram se bada Ram ka naam. That he clearly wrote it in Ramcharitmanas. And Tulsidas was 700 years ago. So 700 years ago, it was a Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
So he was right in the Kali Yuga.
Those stones were in the water, they were not going down. When
Yeah,
they,
Ram.
मैं भी वही सोच रही थी अभी.
When they went to Lanka and
they built the bridge.
bridge.
Yeah.
They were like, Ram.
राम नाम लिख के भेजते थे तो वो तैर जाता था उससे ब्रिज बना. तो राम जी ने बोला, राम जी ने एक पत्थर फेंका तो डूब गया. Sank. तो उन्होंने हनुमान जी से बोला कि ऐसे ही बोलता राम नाम के पत्थर चलते हैं और मैंने पत्थर फेंका तो फेंक गया. कहता जिसका हाथ आपने छोड़ दिया वो तो डूबेगा ही.
That was the boon given to one of the persons who was there. That the boon was, if you say Ram's name or if you write Ram's name on a rock, that rock will not
sink.
It will
That
float.
was null.
That was the boon.
Null and near.
Okay. All right. Yes.
I wanted to share that I went to Rameshwaram to have the darshan there, and there was one temple. In that I saw one of the stone written that still they have kept to show the people.
The one says Ram.
Yeah,
okay.
Ram.
All right.
Very nice.
Good.
Beautiful.
So this is the benefit of yatra. It firms your faith in you. That the faith becomes very strong. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
The benefit of yatra. Okay, so we'll see you 7 days later. Continue from the 31st statement. sadhana. Okay?
Okay.
Hari Om, Hari
Hari
Om,
Om,
Hari Om, everybody.
Thank you, Jatin ji. Thank you. Thank you.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. See you next Friday, week later.
Next Friday, yes, on 16th.
Yes.
Thanks, Dr. Jatin ji.
Hari Om.
Thank you so much. Om Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivaradhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivaradhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivaradhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato Ma Sadhamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vyau Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rama Shanti Roshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishvedeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redi. Om Shanti Thank you. Shubhratri.
Shubhratri, Shubhratri. Thank you everyone for staying connected to
Thank
them.
you, Kamala ji, for hearing.
Oh, thank you, Chandraji.
Thank you. Have a
Thank you,
safe-
Rani. Rani, you had a wonderful question. Thank you.
चंद्र जी है, उनका नाम चंद्रा नहीं है.
Chandra ji. Chandra ji. पत्नी मैं हमेशा उनको चंद्रा जी बोलती. Thank you for correcting me.
उषा शुक्ला जी बिल्कुल ठीक मेरा नाम बोलती है.
Chandra ji, okay.
एक दो बार
नाम मेरा चंद्रकला, वो हमेशा मुझे चंद्रकला बुलाती है.
कौन? आपका नाम क्या? चंद्रकला?
हाँ जी, मेरा नाम
Okay.
चंद्रकला है जी.
चंद्रकला. Okay, आज से मैं आपको चंद्रकला ही बुलाऊंगी.
जी क्योंकि जब मैं पैदा हुई थी तो फुल मून था उस दिन, तो मेरे पेरेंट्स ने वही नाम दिया मुझको उस दिन का.
Good.
फुल मून चंद्रकला.
Chandrakala. No, I'm going to stop it recording. You want to stop?